And as we saw, 4 new chiefs were elected while 8 others carried over from last term. Joining us now is Joe Delaronde, political press attaché for the Mohawk Council of Kahnawake. Joe, what happens next for this new council?
Well, for the next month and a half or so, there's going to be a lot of orientation. The various departments will come in, tell them what they do, get caught up on political files. OCC, the Office of the Council of Chiefs, the political people will meet with them, and basically just get them used to how things operate and that sort of thing. It's very busy, very intensive, and I guess there has to be quite a bit of repetition because it's like being in school. You're trying to absorb all of this new information, and it will be quite busy for them.
How long do you think that will take? Like, what does it normally take for especially the new people to absorb all of that and actually get working?
Honestly, I think it takes a good 3 or 4 months, but we don't have the luxury in Kahnawake these days to say, well, we'll just keep you off to the side for now. Work starts right away, especially these last few years, so they're going to have to hit the ground running. But in order to really have a good understanding, it takes a good 3-4 months and probably even 6 till you're really comfortable in the position and saying, all right, I really now know what I'm doing.
What about portfolios? Is that the Grand Chief's job to hand out the portfolios, or do the council chiefs themselves ask for certain ones? How does that work?
Well, they will, once they get familiar with everything that's going on, they will, as a council, sit together and divvy it up, and quite often it's just a discussion, and it's logical, where somebody says, I think I'd like that one, and everybody looks and says, you'd be pretty good at that. Every once in a while, there's a portfolio that 2 or 3 people are very interested in, and at that point they have to discuss it. But there's also backup chiefs on every portfolio if somebody's off on vacation or sick or like that. But it's council itself that determines it, not the Grand Chief.
Okay. 7 of the 12 council members have under 4 years of experience. That's a pretty big number. How do you see that having any sort of effect on how things are going to roll?
Just a quick comment on that. There was a campaign for change. Some people are saying there needs to be change. Well, there's change anyway. Yeah. Even last time you had 3 new chiefs, and this time you have 4 new ones. So it's the majority of council now have only 2 terms or less experience there. It will have an effect. Peggy Mayo Stand-Up, 22 years on council. Great corporate memory, and one thing at the table that is going to be missed is her ability to, when something comes up, saying, well, was that in 97 or 98 a decision was made? She'll say, no, it was actually in 99 in May, and she'll have the information there like that. For discussion purposes, that was great. Mike Bush has been here since the turn of the century. Boy, does that sound... But he was here for quite a while. His experience, especially in dealing with the governments, his knowledge of legal matters, as part of the Justice Commission and the KLCC, for the community decision-making process, he did a lot of great work there, kind of behind the scenes almost, and that's going to be missed. So the new people, like we said, they're going to have to hit the ground running and pick up as quickly as they can whatever it is they have to absorb. It's going to be a quick learning curve this time.
Okay, let's take a little closer look at the new chiefs recently elected. First off, what can you tell us about them that we didn't already see in the clips? We'll start with Christine Zachary-Deal.
Christine Zachary has been working for MCK up until around Christmas, this past Christmas. I guess most people know that she is a lawyer, but she is one of those people, I think, that is a lot more passionate than she lets on, because she comes across as calm, but she really gets into, if she gets her teeth into something, she's going to take it all the way, and I think they're going to look at her for some major portfolio work.
Looking at percentages again, there are 4 council members now who are all either current peacekeepers or former peacekeepers. Bobby Patton, one of those.
Yeah, Bobby, you gotta like Bobby. He's one of those guys who has faced the community. I know I've seen him at many events where he volunteers, not only as a peacekeeper, but just as a guy saying, I'm interested. He is one of those who's really had to put his brain to work to try and get things done, and he really looks at this as being the next stage of his career. I think he more than anybody was very enthusiastic in the first meeting with Chief and Council.
What does Billy Dibo bring to the table, you think?
He knows everybody in town.
He's a friendly guy, that's for sure.
Yeah, and everybody, he's the kind of guy that people like, and that gives him a great advantage because that means he's very approachable. And people who are a little nervous about meeting a council chief or something, well, they'll say, "Hey, Billy, I know you. Just between me and you," kind of thing. That'll give him a great advantage early on, and it depends how he takes that through the years.
I know that seeing him while he was a peacekeeper, that he also dealt with the younger set of people really well. Would actually get in there and, not go in where there's a big group of kids and you guys get out of here and stuff. He'd actually go in there, talk with them, find out what's going on, what are they interested in, that sort of thing. So I think he could be good there.
Yeah, it's, Gina Deere comes from the same type of mold, and I think the fact that 3 of the 4 new chiefs are peacekeepers or ex-peacekeepers says a lot. It'll take, I guess, a good sociologist to figure out exactly why things worked out the way they did, but you can see that I guess it is to their advantage that they had that tough job. Being a peacekeeper, it's not only the good things, it's certainly the bad, and you have to learn to deal with all types of people in troubling situations, and if you can get past that, I think that's a good proof for people to say, well, I'm not sure about these candidates, but I know those guys have been through some tough times and they came through professionally and with flying colors, so it gives them a great advantage, actually. All
right. Finally, we've already said goodbye to John D. Delormier and Johnny Montour, who retired. John D. is off to become a peacekeeper in training. Yeah, going the other way. You mentioned Peggy and Mike Bush, but before we close off, is there anything else that you'd like to mention about all the years that they put in?
Well, like I said, Barry Alford said it at Candidates Night, and it's something I always also believe in very strongly. When you put your name out there in front of people, I don't care if you're a candidate that is loved, hated, or whatever. Whoever you are, you're putting you're putting it out there for the people to make a choice. And not everybody's going to win. There's 19 candidates, and 11 get in as council chiefs, and it's tough to feel, you can't help but feel like it's a personal thing, like people don't like me anymore, people don't trust me, but it's not always about that. But if you've ever been on that side of things, it's tough. And the work that they did put in, both Mike and Peggy, was out there for the community to see. And they're going to be missed, personally, especially. You see people around the office all the time, and that's going to be tough. But I think they have nothing to be ashamed of for their political careers.
And we wish them the best in whatever they choose to do. And they might even run again in 2015, so maybe it's not over.